Hello, my children. Today we're going to get ready for the reading of Unit 15, which is really, really interesting. But before we read, we need to open the book on page 100, the student's book on page 153. And we're going to start by thinking, how do you feel when something frightens you? How did you feel yesterday with the movie, with the short film that we saw? In my case, sometimes I feel alert and ready to respond. But sometimes if I feel or I get paralyzed and I just can't move. What about you? How do you feel? Well, answer the question for yourselves. And now we're going to learn something about the intensive reading. When you read intensively, you pay careful attention to the text. Reading intensively involves identifying keywords. Which words do you need to know to understand the text? Thinking about the grammar. Are you reading about present facts, past events, or future possibilities? Noticing the structure of the text. Where does one idea end and another begin? Using text features. What can the title, headings, captions, and pictures tell you about the text? So practically, intensive reading means reading, paying attention to every detail in the reading. Now, let's continue doing an intensive reading on this little text, and then we're going to fill in the chart. And it says the importance of fear. The title is telling us something because it's telling us that fear may be important. Okay, so let's read. And as usual, I'm going to be using the spotlight. Okay, it says, to survive, an animal needs to have a sense of fear. Okay, to survive. When an animal is threatened or thinks it's threatened, its brain sends out the fear emotion. A chemical called adrenaline spreads through its body, preparing it either to run away or to fight the danger. So the animal has two options, fight or run. Fear is useful. It comes naturally and automatically, so the animal doesn't need to waste precious seconds deciding what to do. At the moment it senses danger, its brain begins working on a course of action. Okay, so what are the keywords in this text? Well, a very important word is adrenaline. Another one is fear. Another one may be threatened. And maybe danger. What kind of grammar are we using in this text? Everything is in present. For facts, to talk about facts. the text structure. Okay, the text is divided in 2 paragraphs. Number one talks about fear response. And number 2, usefulness of fear. When the text I'm writing is very long, you can look at it at the top of the page in yellow. It's divided in 2 paragraphs. 1 talks about fear response, and 2, the usefulness of fear. And question number 4, text features. Okay, it has a title that describes the topic. Okay. You may have different answers, or you may write them in a different way. Now let's look at the words in context. It says, scan the text on pages 154 to 155 and circle these words. As you read, try to guess what the words mean. And the words are obvious, defensive, adrenaline, decisions, instantly, and deliberate. Obvious, obviamente, defensive, defensivo, adrenaline, adrenalina, which is a chemical that our body produces. Decisions, decisiones, instantly, instantáneamente, deliberate, deliberadamente. Okay, so look for the words in your book and then answer these questions. Where do you think, these questions, yes. Where do you think fear comes from? From an external danger or from an internal feeling? Do you have control over whether you're afraid or not? What do you think? Answer the question, please. Questions, please. Now, the preview. In the preview, we have the title of the article we're going to read, and it's Fear on the Brain. And again, if we pay attention, the title is giving us some answer for where the fear comes from. And it says, in this informational text, you learn what fear is and where it comes from. Informational texts present facts about a subject. You can find them in books, magazines, and on the internet. Do an intensive reading of the text. Do an intensive reading of the text to improve your understanding. So when it says do an intensive reading, it's pay attention to all the details. And let's read something about the author. He writes about life science, and the name of the author is Charlene Brusso, who has worked as a physicist as well as a librarian and a baker. Her articles have appeared in many publications. That's it. So look for the words and circle them, the words in context in the reading. Bye for now.